All right. So here we are with the Christmas version of Sunday Funday with Femmy. We'll give it a couple of seconds here for some folks to jump on. Somebody just jumped on. I just saw it come up on the doohickey. On the doohiccular. Oh, da, 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 da. Now, you know, the funny thing is I scheduled one, and it didn't just automatically come up the way I thought that it would. So while we're doing that, I'm going to put up here, hey, Venmo.com/Jim Femino or www.paypal.com/Jim Femino. So this is interesting. I'm live streaming. I see one. I wonder if another live stream came up on YouTube. I don't know. Let's look. Let us look. Nope. No idea what the hell that was about. So anyway, all right. We got a couple of us on. Who's here? Somebody say hello in the chat. And we can get on with having a good time. Do you remember to bring your cocktails? Boy, it was a good week. When you can crack the top on a little bottle of Cabernet Sauvignon. Could put it in a glass, but hell no. Ooh, that's some tasty shit. Went right up the nose, too. So what's up, kids? Happy weekend before Christmas. What do you think of my Christmas decorations? So we got like the Charlie Brown Christmas tree. You know, the world's ugliest, smallest. I mean, it's all of like 1.5 feet high. You know what I mean? It's kind of weird. And that thing, that camper, My son bought me that last year. My son and daughter-in-law got me that last year for Christmas. And I'm like, how cool is that? So anyway, those are my Christmas decorations. No, excuse me. That wine went right up my nose. All right, so anyway, let's see. Let's do an attitude adjustment right off the bat. Here's to the year 2020 coming to an end. I mean, hopefully 2021 will be better. I can't imagine how it's getting worse. Because this was a crazy year for everybody with, with the COVID and people losing their jobs and their incomes and their businesses and just everything. And nobody can get together for the holidays. It's just. So anyway, here's to 2020 going out the window and up eternity's ass. Hello. Whether you're drinking a Cabernet out of a bottle or a glass, it still tastes the same. All right. Oh. Slowly but surely, I think we get some people coming on. Okay, so speaking of the holidays, so Jen, hi, cuz. What's up, honey? So, hey, speaking of you, I was just going to talk about this. Look. Ooh. I was telling a story. I called my cousin Janine, who just jumped on actually last night, and she gave me my mom's old Christmas cookie recipe. And what's really weird is that our senses, the basic five senses of it. It's really kind of interesting. Joanne, hi, honey. Hi there. Finally found you. Yeah. Before I get into the cookie thing, let me explain. I tried to do the automatic where it would just pop up by itself and go live, and it didn't do it for whatever reason. I don't know. So anyway, I had to go in and set it up again, and here we are. So, but I'm glad you found it. It'll come up the next time. I promise you. It was just I was experimenting. Leave it to me to experiment right on 5 minutes before the show. Anyway, so we were talking about, and Joanne, with the way you cook and the way you feed your family and friends over there, you'll appreciate this. So with our five senses, isn't it something that you can see something and it may not mean anything, might not strike a memory in you. Maybe if you smell something, you might. But anyway, so let me tell you the story. So I said to my son Art, last night, first of all, I got this hair across my ass to make. My mom used to make, and all my aunts, they used to get together every Christmas Eve or like the day before, and they would make dozens, just batches, Italian household, what do you expect? They would make dozens and dozens of Christmas cookies, all different kinds, basically the same cookie, but all different shapes, and some would have walnuts on them, and some would have nonpareils, and blah, blah, blah. But anyway, they were all basically the same cookies, and they had a very unique taste to them because two things. The two main ingredients, flavor-wise, were anise, or anise, however you pronounce that. Well, anisette, so anise, anise. So anise and vanilla, and they're very, very unique taste. So anyway, last night I made up this big old batch of, I don't know, 3-4 dozen. For me, that's, living in a camper. That's a lot. Trust me. I had every inch of my camper was covered with dough. It was ridiculous. But anyway, what was I saying? Oh, so I made these cookies, and as soon as I tasted the first one, I was like, and I got the recipe from my cousin Janine. Thank you again for that. And as soon as I bit into it, it was like, that's the flavor. I mean, it brought me back immediately, 60 years. I mean, to being in my mom's kitchen, smelling those cookies cooking, and then just sitting there eating them faster than they were coming out of the oven, and my mother getting pissed off. Leave the cookies alone, Jimmy. And but anyway, it's just a fond memory from my childhood. And so I called Art, my son, last night, who lives like all of 20 feet away from me. And I'm like, hey, do you remember Grammy's cookies? And he was like, no, I mean, Grammy's been gone for years. It's been 40 years, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, but do you remember the cookies that she used to make on Christmas Eve? And he says, nah. So anyway, I put together this plate of cookies and I sent it over to him and the fam. It was funny because like 3 minutes later, my phone rings and it's Art. And he's like, yo, Pop. And I'm like, what? And he's like, I just bit into one of those cookies. And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, I so remember that. And the minute I bit into it, it was like 40 years ago. And I was sitting at Grammy's kitchen table. I was like, yeah, exactly. And isn't it crazy? But it got me thinking, isn't that weird that a taste, like a flavor, telling him about it didn't do anything for him. She probably showed him to him, wouldn't do anything for him. But as soon as he tasted it, it brought him back to, when my mom was still alive. So anyway, my point is, what traditions do you guys have? Like, do you have like any foodie traditions for Christmas? I know there's this one friend of mine down here at the dialysis place of all places, this Italian chick. She's like, the other day she said to me, well, I got to leave you because I got to go home and start making the layers for the Christmas lasagna. And she makes 2 different kinds of lasagna. She makes like a vegan one, which is all spinach and cheese for herself because she's vegan. And then she makes another one that's, meat, sausages, hamburger, pork, and everything else that you would put in a non-vegan lasagna. So anyway, I actually ought to call her up and tell her to save me some of that normal lasagna because I'd eat the ass out of that. I'd be all over it. Anyway, so anyway, but anyway, but what I was saying about the cookies, this is what my mom's cookies look like. Now, mind you, I didn't shape this because like a dumbass, instead of borrowing my daughter-in-law's blender, I went out and bought one of those old school hand blenders, mixers, the little, you hold it up and wee. Actually, hold on, I got it right here. Yeah, this thing. Have you ever tried to make dough with one of these things? No. No. You don't want to do it. Good for mixing eggs and shit. Anyway, I sat here with Christmas carols on the radio, and just it took me forever with that thing, and then with a spoon just to make up the dough and everything. But anyway, yeah. So I didn't get to actually shape the cookies the way my mom and aunts would shape them. They used to put them in like little S's, and then they'd do some that were like rolled over. And the way they would do that was the dough, you have to beat the dough until it's not sticky. It just becomes a dough. Well, like a dry dough. Well, doing it by hand, you can't get it to that point. I mean, you just can't. No, doesn't work. It doesn't work. Trust me. So next time I'm going to use the blender, and I'll be able to shape them the way they're supposed to be shaped. But anyway, let's see. What do we got here? Joanne says, have that happen here all the time. We were brought up on Turkish food, and most people over here know how to cook many of our plates we grew up on. Huh, there you go. Do you ever do any like back home, Salem, Massachusetts things? Like this is going to sound really bizarre, but you'll probably remember this, Joanne. There used to be a place across the bridge. What street was that? I forget. But there was the bridge that went over, not Loring Ave. Anyway, my point is, Gary, what's up, buddy? Looking good, Uncle Sexy. Thanks. You are too, I'm sure. Egg salad, tuna salad, chocolate cookies. Yeah, all that. But I used to, believe it or not, for Christmas Eve, when I was a kid, my dad used to take me to this place called Burger Chef. It doesn't even exist anymore. There's like a car wash there now where there used to be this Burger Chef, which was back in the days, it was McDonald's, Burger King, and then Burger Chef. Burger Chef went away because they found out they got closed down because they found out they were using horse meat. But I used to love them. I don't give a shit what it was made out of. But that was my Christmas Eve thing. Every year I would go to Burger Chef, and my mom thought I was kind of nuts about that because my mom obviously had the bypass, exactly. Yeah, with the bypass. But because my mom had, the whole house was full of food because, family would be coming over. I mean, so much so that we even had Sam, our neighbor's oven, was full of stuff that we were going to have for the fam, But me, I'd go to Burger Chef because I had to be weird. So let's do an attitude adjustment to weird family traditions that you might not do anymore. But anyway, hello, here's to it. North Street. By the way, you're right, Janine. Thank you. It's been so long since I've been up there, I forget the streets. It's really kind of weird. Which, after spending first 18 years of my life up there, you think I'd remember that shit. Hey, what do you think about this? Check this out. One hair sticking up out of the top of my head. You want to explain that to me? It's a Christmas miracle. Hair on the top of my head. Yay. Anyway, everybody we got over here in the comments. Joanne, all the time, I always said that. Oh my God, I thought you had, Janine says, oh my God, I thought you had used a handheld electric mixer. No, because I forgot they make those. I'm a dumbass. Just this morning, Michelle told me, she says, we've got a regular blender, a big old KitchenAid blender, that you can use anytime you want, or we have a handheld mixer. And I was like, oh yeah, handheld. Why the hell didn't I think of that? The electric handheld. So yeah, it took me, Janine, without exaggeration, when we were talking last night, it must have taken me an hour to mix that dough by hand. And then it took me an hour to clean out the bowl after it all dried in there after I made the cookies. But anyway, here's one right here. Cuz, thanks for that recipe. Because you know what? I wish I had a bottle of Anisette. I was telling my son Art, if you really want to enjoy these cookies, first thing in the morning when you get up and you have that really hot, piping hot cup of strong coffee, take 1 or 2 of these, dip it in it, eat the cookie. It's a flavor. I mean, as soon as I did that last night, and I mean, I was right back at the Christopher Columbus Club in Salem, eating Italian food and drinking anisette and with these cookies. Anyway, I'm going to take another bite because that was too damn good not to. Now, as a kid, I never washed a homemade cookie down with Cabernet Sauvignon. But hey, it's the holidays. Hark the herald angels sing, gonna drink some wine with my cookie. Yeah, there you go. Hey, Buck Walter, happy birthday, by the way. Saw that it was your birthday the other day. I hope you got my little message, on Facebook. It's to Gary and his birthday. Hey, woo. Sweet. So, all right. Carolyn Ward says hello. Hello, Carolyn. Merry Christmas weekend before. Glad you're here. Yay! Gary Buckwalter says thank you. Yeah, I'm in like a seriously good mood here, which is cool. I'm going to get over here, scoot in front of my little Christmas tree a little bit. Move this mic on my phone a little closer to me here. The heater came on. The guitar was in front of the heater and it made it go out of tune. So, and also, by the way, for those of you who never lived in a camper, when the heater comes on, it sucks in like dust from outside. In case you're wondering why lately I've been blowing my nose like in the middle of the show. And I'm not just trying to be nasty. Just dust comes in through the heater. And it's either that or I just like snot on my guitar and my shirt. So pardon the... Carolyn says, Merry Christmas. Same to you, honey. And Gary says, must be the wine. Has that been written? I should write that. Must be the wine. Spill the wine. Take that, girl. Anyway. All right. So I did a test the other day online to make sure that the YouTube connections were working, and they are. Obviously, this is great. But there were only 2 people jumped on because I really didn't advertise it. It was a quick little test of the system. And for those that took time out in the middle of their day to help me with the test, I gave them a little surprise peek of, I've already started working on the next album. Even though Songs Around the Campfire just came out, I just now started to work on the next album. And so the other day during the test, I played the first song I've written for the new album, and I'm going to play it for you now. Get your opinion, see what you think. It's called A Little Good Today. Spend my whole life making music. I suspect I'll spend the rest doing the same. Singing, putting smiles on people's faces. A song in their heart while they go their merry way. Now you might think all I'm doing's wasting time, but me, I don't see it that way. If I can put a smile on some unhappy person's face, then I've shared a little good today. And we could all use a little good today. Ain't that the truth? You turn on the TV, all you see is bad news. The internet's just a breeding ground for hate. But a song can take you back to a better place and time. In our younger days when life was easy. Yeah, in our younger days. Yeah, you might think all I'm doing's wasting time. Me, I don't see it that way. If I can put a smile on some unhappy person's face, then I've shared a little good today. We could all use a little good today. If I could put a smile on some unhappy person's face, then I've shared a little good today. And we could all use a little good today. Yeah, we could all use a little good today. There you go. Brand new. Just wrote it like 3 days ago. A little good today. What do you think? Let's see. What do we got? We got some comments over here. Kathy Davis just jumped on. Hey, baby. She says, hello. Yeah, I don't know if you were here for the other ones, but we just did like 5 in a row in the first 15 minutes. We're going to do a bunch more too. Don't worry. Bought me a whole bunch of wine. And I've got my Christmas cookies. Tell you what else, by the way, is a bitch about making cookies in a camper. Yesterday was the first time I lit the oven. This thing back here. Funny thing about a camper oven is that like you set it to like 400, 425, whatever. And that isn't what the temperature is. I don't even know why they have the numbers on the knob. It's just hot and you cook shit. So, I don't know. Let's see. What do we got here? You know, let's look at some of these comments for a second here. Carolyn says her internet buffs all the time. I have poor internet reception. Well, that's no fun. The funny thing is, I can use. I know your pain. I could use my son and daughter-in-law's internet connection if I wanted to, but and they have a really good package, but they've always got like 700 things going on in their house. So I ended up getting a little hotspot. One of these things from AT&T with high speed. And I got to tell you, since I've had this, it just gives me high speed. I could be in the middle of the desert. I mean, because it's all satellite, and love it. So you might want to try that, by the way. Carolyn. Kathy with a hey-o. Joanne says, so true. I'm assuming you mean we could all use a little good today. Yes. Cousin Janine says, like it a lot. Big old heart. Thank you, cuz. Just figured this out. I'm a dummy. Kathy, it's the first time you've been on YouTube? What's wrong with you? I'm going to eat some more cookie. Lord, I want somebody to talk to. Gary Buckwalter You know, I didn't realize that. He just put a comment up there. It says, sounds a little like All I Want. You're right. It does. You got to understand, I wrote All I Want, what, 20 years ago? And you can't steal from yourself. But, you know, that's the thing I love about you guys. Is that, you know, my longtime fans, I'm eating nonpareils off my desk. Or what do you call them? Sprinkles, whatever. I forgot what the hell I was going to say. So, oh, no. I was saying, that's the thing I love about you guys is that you really know my music. I mean, you know my music better than I do because I'm constantly writing new songs, and I kind of like write them and then move on, write them, move on. Because it's just an ongoing thing. It's not like a one-time job, you know. But that's amazing that Gary just, you know, when he said it sounds a little like All I Want, and he's right that even the key is the same. Lord, all I want somebody to talk to. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. All right, anyway. All right, Kathy. Duh. Jimmy's? No. Jimmy's are chocolate. Actually, I had this, I can't believe you brought this up because I had this discussion with somebody like years ago online. You have all the different mixtures of cookie toppings and cupcake toppings and stuff. The chocolate ones, the little chocolate sprinkles, those are Jimmy's. The multicolored ones are, the white ones are nonpareils. The ones like if you go to the movies and you get box of snow caps, and it's the same thing. It's just sugar, but they're all white. Yeah, that's nonpareils. And then the multicolored ones are called sprinkles. Think about it. If you walk into an ice cream shop, remember when that place used to be up on off of 724 there, that dairy, Meadowbrook? Yeah, Meadowbrook. How the hell did I remember that? Wow. Anyway, Meadowbrook in Pennsylvania. They would always say, do you want your ice cream cone with or without sprinkles? And sprinkles were always the multicolored nonpareils, you know, instead of just the whites but Jimmy's. See, my cousin Janine just jumped on. She said, I was just going to write that. Exactly. The chocolate ones are called Jimmy's. And that has nothing to do with me. Although if I had created them, that's exactly what I would have called them, Jimmy's. Here's the Jimmy's, nonpareils, and sprinkles. Sugar on your shit. Ba, 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 ba. Holy crap. This is a particularly strong little bottle of Cabernet. What do we got over here? Comments. Kathy says she's just a YouTube live virgin. LOL. It's funny. Normally we have a bunch more people on here. We've got 8. I'm wondering how many people didn't see any of them, because Facebook they don't share shit unless you spend money and advertise. I mean, like I've got 5,000 friends on Facebook on my regular personal page. So you want to explain to me how I get all these little notes? You know, your post reached 16 people. Well, what about the rest of them? That's why I jumped off Facebook. I mean, because that's just bullshit. They want you to spend money to advertise, and they've turned it into a commercial venture. And if you don't spend money, all your friends don't see your posts, which is ridiculous. Carolyn Ward says, when you live in the country, you get what you get. I'm assuming she's referring to her internet thing. Yeah, but I'm telling you, even in the country, I'm on top of a ridge in Pegram, Tennessee, about 15 minutes outside of Nashville. And believe me, I am out in the woods. When I say I'm out in the woods, trust me, I am out in the woods. And this little hotspot, I've used it all over the country. I remember one time I was in the middle of the desert in Nevada. I was out on tour with Steve Azar. And we were on our way to, not Los Alamos. Where's the Area 51 in Nevada out there? We were on our way there to do a show. Which, completely random thought, the funniest thing I've ever seen, they have a Walmart there. And in the front of the Walmart, they have a spaceship crashed into the front of the building. Sorry, just a little bizarre flashback. Michael Kennedy says, do you need to post to check in? I have no idea. This is the first time I've done this. But here you are posting, and I'm assuming... Can you see the live feed, Michael? Can you see what's going on here? Kathy says, okay, I stand corrected. Yes, Jimmy's, the chocolate ones. Michael, let me write this down for him. Tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to write this down, even though I know you're on here now. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. This first time we're doing this is going to be a lot of me answering questions like this. Because there are a lot of people. There are a lot of people that are YouTube newbies also. I guess it has to do with the fact that my fan and friend demographic is on the older side. A lot of digitally challenged friends. Oh, Michael says, yes, did it earlier. Well, there you go. It should have just, didn't it just come up? Or did you have to go looking for it? Let's see. Well, I'll give you a minute to answer that. While you're doing that, because it is the Christmas weekend, the weekend before Christmas, Michael said it came up. Good. That's exactly what it's supposed to do. Now, I'd like to sing a song. By the way, can you hear the heater in the background? Is that messing with the sound at all? Kathy says, excuse me, I ain't old. The hell you ain't, bitch. Oh, well, not as old as me, but let's see. Gary says, my daughter had to set up an account for me to be able to post messages. I could watch the feed, but I couldn't post messages. Oh, well, there you go. That's interesting. You had to set up an account. I thought all you had to do was, what do you call it? I thought all you had to do was subscribe. That's interesting. I'll have to check into that. Kathy just spit my drink out. Oh, hell. So listen. See that little Christmas tree behind me? I mean, I literally pulled a Charlie Brown. I went into Walmart. Every year, Walmart has this section in the back by where all the fake Christmas trees are and everything. And they always have these little potted Christmas tree tops. And they're only like a foot tall, foot and a half maybe. And they usually, ergonomically correct, as it were. But check this out. I actually have it tilted up just the right way so that it looks normal to you. But look at this. If I turn it, you see how ugly and crooked this thing is in the pot? I mean, this poor tree. All right, we're back to looking good. This poor tree. I just started laughing. I was like, you poor son of a bitch. They cut the top of this tree off, put it in this pot, and not even caring whether or not it was straight up and down or anything. Is nuts. Anyway, so for Christmas, the week before Christmas here, I'd like to sing a song, and I'll get you guys to sing along in the second verse. I think it'll be cool. But I want to dedicate it to this Christmas tree, this poor little Christmas tree. If it makes it through Christmas and a day or two after that, it'll be a damn miracle. So here's the tree. Hey. Anyway. Little Christmas tree behind me, next to the stove. I don't know why in my head I heard myself sounding like Bill Murray there. Silent night, holy night, all is calm, all is bright, round young virgin mother and child, holy infant so tender and mild, sleep in heavenly peace, sleep in heavenly peace. Little tree behind me. Ba-da-da-da, ba-da-da-da, da-da-da, la-da-da, la-da-da-da, la-da-da-da, la-da-da-da-da-da-da, la-da-da-da-da-da. All right, your turn at home. Come on, guys. This is for all of us that are here. According to that, there's 8 of us here. And all those other people that couldn't find it, they'll have to watch it during the week. You ready? Sing along with me. Silent night, holy night, all is calm, all is bright, round yon virgin mother and child, holy infant so tender and mild, sleep in heavenly peace, sleep in heavenly peace, sleep in heavenly peace, sleep in heavenly peace. silent night. Yeah, a little Christmas carol. Gotta have a Christmas carol in the middle of a Christmas show. What are all these notifications? Oh, you know what? I'm getting on my phone, I'm getting all these notifications from Facebook. And I'm guessing it's all these people that didn't see the message about Sunday Funday being over here on YouTube now. So that's kind of sad. But I'll have to go on there and answer them individually. All right, cool. Now, there was something that I wanted to, okay, I'm totally spacing out. There was something I wanted to share with you. Oh, by the way, if you haven't gotten your new copy of the new album, if you haven't talk much. If you haven't gotten your copy of the new album, Songs Around the Campfire, it's available on all the usual places, iTunes, .com/JimFemino, Amazon.com. Just go to Amazon.com and then click on the music button and do a search for Jim Femino Songs Around the Campfire, and it'll come up. And also, for those of you that are severely digitally challenged, I didn't make CDs or vinyl or any of that stuff because it's been so many years, and so many of my fans have, dissipated over the years because I've been since I stopped being an artist and went to being a songwriter. Now I'm back to being an artist again, and there's maybe like 500 people as opposed to 15,000 in the fan base. But I didn't want to spend all that money having that stuff made and then have it just sitting in boxes, under the bed here in the camper. So, but if you want a CD copy of Songs Around the Campfire, what I've done is I've burned some from my computer, just from the master. And if you want one, you can go to JimFemino.com, and under music and merch, you'll find a link there. If you click on music and merch at JimFemino.com, you'll see Songs Around the Campfire, the new album. Hold on, gonna sneeze. Or not. Told you, every time that excuse me, every time that heater comes on, dust from outside. I don't even get it. Anyway, you go to JimFemino.com, click on the music and merch thing, and then look, just the first thing on top under the music is Songs Around the Campfire. And what I'll do is it won't have any fancy packaging or anything. It'll just be a CD, and I've handwritten them out, Songs Around the Campfire, Jim Femino, with a little smiley face. And you can get them there. And by the way, while I'm thinking of it, and I send them right out like the next day as soon as I get an order. You should get it pretty quickly, actually. From what I understand, the ones that I sent out last week, people were getting them like 2-3 days later, even with the holiday rush at the post office. So that's cool. Also, on this, one of the things that's different about YouTube, the YouTube live show that we're doing here, as opposed to Facebook, is your comments. If you comment underneath the video when the thing is over, when the show is over, and you do a like and you give it a thumbs up and love anything you can, and just say something about anything you liked or didn't like, or I don't care what the comment is, good, bad, or otherwise. Your comments are what feed, let YouTube know that people are actually watching this, give a shit about it, and they'll actually share it and advertise it to more people on YouTube. Because I've only got, I think, like 430 subscribers on YouTube, because I haven't paid attention to YouTube for all these years, but I am now, which is obvious, Sorry, excuse me, pardon me. So anyway, yeah, any comments? Also, share with your friends just jump online and tell all your friends. By the way, Jim can be found on YouTube now as opposed to Facebook, even though I'm still on Facebook commenting and talking to friends and stuff. The Sunday Funday with Femmy. By the way, how do you like the new thumbnail for it? Wasn't that funny? Anyway, share it and just let your friends know that we're over here. Let's see. Do we have any new? No, we don't have any new comments over here. That's okay. All right, so yeah, I got a request. Damn it. Yes, I ran out of tissues. I'm using toilet paper. Somebody actually, it's funny how kids, like my grandkids, are conditioned. People are conditioned thing. They're like, "Why aren't you using a tissue? I can't believe you're using toilet paper to blow your nose." It's all paper, and I'll never forget one time I had I forget why I was even there, but Scott Paper, the Scott Paper Company, tissue, toilet paper, and all that stuff. They had a plant in Philadelphia, and I had to go down there for some reason, or I forget what the hell the reason was. But I walked in, and I'll never forget walking in, and literally there were table after table after table of people. I mean, one row of tables, everybody was just making toilet paper, and then the next table, they were making tissues, and then the next, the only one that was different, the only table that was different was paper towels, because it's a different. But all the paper came from the same roll. But anyway, that always cracks me up. My grandkids are like, "How can you use toilet paper to blow your nose?" It's like, it's paper. What the hell does it matter? Anyway, things to talk to your kids about. So I got a request for an oldie but goodie. I don't know that this is a Christmas song, but title cut off of the 1900s. All-Night Party album. Summer fun and warm breeze makes you feel alright. Bottle of wine and a couple of lights to get you through the night. Smell them coals cooking, ain't you glad you ain't home alone? Keep them joints rolling, we're all getting stoned, and it's just another all-night party like the ones before. One more all-night party, you'll have to scrape me off the floor. But after all is said and done, that's what nighttime's for. Forgot to tune my guitar back down, just a hair high. Yeah, 6 kegs on the front lawn, we got all the beer. Grab yourself a partner, bring her over here. Keep them glasses flowing, we're drinking overtime. If you ain't here to party, you ain't no friend of mine. It's just another all-night party like the ones before. One more all-night party, you'll have to scrape me off the floor. That was the truth back then. Yeah, after all is said and done, that's what nighttime's for. All right, if y'all got a kazoo, whip it out and take a solo. A buddy of mine actually called me 2 days ago and said we should write a song called Kazoo My Best Friend. I probably will, because it's Bertie Nelson. But anyway, in the meantime, hey, yeah, James is in the backyard getting high, singing songs. Couple of hundred people pass around, sing along. No one's worried about the time, at least not for tonight. We're all here to party till the morning sun is shining bright. And it's just another all-night party like the ones before. One more all-night party, you'll have to scrape me off the floor. But after all is said and done, that's what nighttime's for. That's what it's for. Yeah. All right. Oh, I could have done another one more all-night party, but I didn't. Why? Because I wanted to get to my wine. It's funny, that song takes a little bit of energy to play that thing. Let's see. Joanne says, love hearing your spirit. You're full of energy. Great to see you back to yourself. It's funny, Joanne, because I was literally just going to say, normally, that, you know, I have no problem spitting out a song like that. But the reason I left that last double chorus off is because I was actually running out of steam. I mean, breath-wise, which is kind of weird. I guess I'm not doing my breathing exercises enough. But I am doing all my other exercises, which is walking and working on my shoulders and all this other crap. So I'm actually starting to, you know, get, you know, muscle tone back, which is kind of nice, because for a while there, I was just starting to look like a skeleton. And although this is kind of, I'm not quite sure if I like this or don't, this little turkey neck thing going on. Beep, 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 beep. It's kind of cool, something to play with. All right. God, what was it? There was something I wanted to tell you guys about, and it's making me absolutely crazy. I don't know. I totally lost it. But let's tell you what, we've been at an hour, and I think what we shall do, pardon me while I put a capo on my guitar. By the way, what do you think of the YouTube feed? Is it as good as, better than, not as good as? How do you like it as opposed to the Facebook feed? Any thoughts? Throw some comments on the right. Let me know. In the meantime, last week, was it last week? Yeah, on Facebook, when we got to the end of the show and I was about to do Smile, as I always end every show with the song Smile, I think I got like, I don't know, 2 or 3 lines out, and Facebook froze. And evidently it froze like with me, you know, song face, in the middle of song face, like, and it's funny, my wife called me up, she's like, are you okay? You having a stroke? And I'm like, no, I'm not having a stroke. Facebook froze. I just thought that was so funny that she would call and say that. Are you having a stroke? Let's see. Bubba says better picture quality, no glitching. And Kathy says what Bubba said. Joanne says working fine. It popped up. What? Oh, popped up. It popped up around 5 minutes before you started. Oh, no kidding. That's interesting to know. Because in other words, it actually was running. It just didn't show it on my end. It shows it on your end. Aha! Good to know. Thank you for letting me know that, guys. And you got it, and it said Joanne says she got a notice in advance. Nice. See, Facebook doesn't do that either. Sweet. So this is where we'll be every Sunday, right here on YouTube. Please remember that we got to get these numbers up, by the way. Because YouTube is actually, they pay out thousandths of a penny, but they don't even pay out thousandths of a penny until you get to like a thousand subscribers, and we're at like 430 or something like that. So anyway, tell your friends to get on there and subscribe to my channel, please. Let's see if we can't get this up to 1,000. The sooner the better. Right? Anyway, song Smile here. Cousin says quality's great. Came up through app, not desktop. Wow, that's cool too. Life's a circle, no beginning and no end. Don't matter where I go, somebody's already been. So why am I running around trying to get somewhere when I'm already there? Have to remind myself, what's your rush? Where are you going? What do you have to do? I just can't wait one more minute. It's so important to you. The way I see it, we're only here for a little while. Just a little while. So slow down, live a little, laugh a lot. Smile. Spent my life running after money. Spent my life chasing after fame. It occurred to me I was chasing after nothing. All I got was one day closer to the grave. So believe me when I say, what's your rush? Where are you going? What do you have to do? I just can't wait one more minute. It's so important to you. The way I see it, we're only here for a little while. Just a little while. So slow down, live a little, laugh a lot. Smile. Smile. You may not always get what you ask for, but you can bet you'll always get what you need. So what's your rush? Where are you going? What do you have to do? I just can't wait one more minute. It's so important to you. Not a damn thing. The way I see it, we're only here for a little while. Just a little while. So slow down. Live a little, laugh a lot. Slow down. Live a little, laugh a lot. Yeah. And smile. Smile. Think of all you got. Those who don't, you are blessed. We're all blessed. Beyond belief. You don't think so? Joanne's going to Nazareth. She says, anybody want to join her? There you go. I was closer, I would. Kathy says, Merry Christmas. Love you. Right back at you. Smile. Hey, guys. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. Well, we'll do Happy New Year next week, but Happy Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, whatever holiday might be your appropriate to you. Make it a good one. This week coming up, the birth. I'll be celebrating the birth of Christ. My Lord and Savior. His love and your prayers what have kept me alive and going through the last 3 years. So I am thrilled to be celebrating his birth. And anyway, as y'all know, I love y'all. Thank you for being fans, friends all over the world. I so look forward to Sundays. And as my strength gets, comes back more and more, I'll try to do more and more. And I hope you guys are enjoying this. I am. I'm enjoying my little Charlie Brown Christmas tree, my camper, my little, whatever that's made out of. I can't even tell you. Anyway, know that I love you and have a great holiday with your families. Please remember to try to do some good for somebody. Because like that new song I played for you earlier, do a little good today. If you can put a smile on one person's face. I just remembered what it was I wanted to tell you. The Star of Bethlehem, for the first time in 800 years, peeps, think about that, is visible in the night sky right now until tomorrow night from I guess about an hour. The best time to see it is like an hour after sunset, or once it gets dark. And what it is the reason it's so bright in the sky is that Saturn, the planets Saturn and Jupiter, actually line up together. The two of the biggest planets in our solar system line up, and it's this ridiculously bright sight. It hasn't happened. This hasn't happened. The last time it happened was the year 1224 in the Middle Ages. I'm so glad I remembered to tell you this, because I'm going to be out there tonight. Just this is what they believe. The Star of Bethlehem was when the wise men followed it. They were actually seeing Saturn and Jupiter aligned, which only happens every 800 years. Isn't that crazy? Yes, and it can be seen around the world. Joanne just mentioned that it can be seen around the world. And think about that. That is amazing. I mean, wouldn't you think if you were on one side, if on the back side of the planet, you wouldn't be able to see it? No. That is a Christmas miracle. I don't care who you are. You can see it from anywhere in the world. That is amazing. Yes, you're right about that, Joanne. Anyway, so on that note, I love y'all. Have a wonderful, safe, and happy holiday. Those of you that are with family, hugs and kisses to everybody. And those who can't be because of COVID, there's Zoom, there's FaceTime, there's 1,000 ways you can still get together with your family, tell them you love them, and share some good. So until next week, thank you so much for joining me on my first live YouTube feed and helping me get this channel rocking. Love y'all so much. God bless. I will see you next week. Now we're going to hit this end stream button and see how long it takes to end. End stream. End. Your stream will end immediately if you no longer wish to be live. Okay, I no longer wish to be live. Yeah, dude. I want to be alive for a long time. Anyway, here I go. Bye.